Well, as the rock opened, Cassim rushed inside and filled his pockets. He filled his hat, his cloak, his shoes, and his hands with the treasure. He was so excited in his greed that he forgot the magic melody to open the rock again. He tried,
"Open sesame."
Nothing happened.
"Open sesame."
Nothing happened.
"Open sesame."
Still nothing happened.
Sure you don't think less of me. Don't add to the distress of me. You sure could make a mess of me. Unless you open sesame. Unless you open sesame. Sesame!
Cassim was trapped. He couldn't get out of the cave, and he could hear the 40 thieves returning to their treasure. Well, when the 40 thieves came in and discovered most of their treasure missing, they were more than a trifle irritated. "One of us is a thief," cried their leader.
"One of us is a thief. One of us is a thief. And since we're all of us honorable thieves, this is beyond belief. One of us is a crook. One of us is a crook. And since we're all of us honorable crooks, for which of us shall we look?"
"Look," called the chief thief. "Here's the one." And they found poor Cassim hiding in a dark corner behind some jugs of jewels, his pockets filled with their gold. Well, they chopped him up into pieces and they strung him up outside the cave as a warning to others. While all this was happening, Ali Baba's home was a very happy place. Among his servants was a lovely girl by the name of Morgiana, with whom Ali Baba's son was very much in love, and who he wanted to marry. But Morgiana, even though she loved Ali Baba's son, she felt that she was just a little out of place in such a rich family. So she asked Ali Baba's son to wait until he knew her better. But he said,
"I love you, whoever you are. Whoever you are mine. Don't say a word to dispute me. I insist that you soothe me fine. I want you, whoever you are. Whoever you are, you're divine. From our very first meeting, I just keep repeating one line. I love you, whoever you are, and whoever you are, you are mine.
Of course, Ali Baba worried some about his missing brother Cassim. And when he found him hanging outside the thieves' cave, he was very upset. But he remembered what greedy Cassim had said, and he shook his head sadly. "I guess you were right, Cassim," he says. "In every family there can only be one rich brother."
In every family there can only be one rich brother. That's how it's always been. That's how it's got to be. So now your brother Ollie is as fat and as rich and jolly as you used to be.
Well, poor old Cassim. He was duly buried, and life went on as usual for Ali Baba and his wife and his son, and the pretty servant girl, Morgiana. But life did not go on as usual for the 40 thieves, who were determined to get back the rest of their missing treasure. Believe me, it didn't take them long to find out that there lived in the nearby village a fellow called Ali Baba, formerly a poor woodcutter who had become fabulously rich overnight and whose brother had just met a sudden and very violent death. Well, the leader of the 40 thieves, disguising himself as a wealthy oil merchant, visited Ali Baba, and he brought 38 jars of oil along as a present. Actually, though, he brought 38 jars of thieves, because in each jar was hidden one thief. No oil, just a thief. Ali Baba, suspecting nothing, ordered his servants to put the 38 jars into his cellar. He thanked the chief thief, disguised as an oil merchant, and cordially invited him to dinner. No one suspected the real truth except the beautiful servant girl, Morgiana. It seems she went down to the cellar to get some oil for the olives. As she passed the first jar, she heard a voice say, "Is it time to come out yet?" As she passed the second jar, a voice said, "Hey, it's hot in here." As she passed the third jar, a voice said, "Hey, when do we kill Ali Baba and get out of here?" Well, naturally, Morgiana, being a clever girl, guessed the horrible plot. She quickly and neatly boiled up a lot of oil in a large pot, and she poured enough of it into each of the 38 jars. Well, with all the thieves safely boiled in oil, Morgiana crept stealthily back upstairs just in time to see the chief thief, the fellow that was disguised as the oil merchant, drawing his sword and preparing to kill Ali Baba. She swiftly plunged a carving knife into the chief thief's black heart and saved Ali Baba's life, and also the family fortune. Well, Ali Baba was eternally grateful to Morgiana. He arranged a beautiful wedding for her, and she married his son, and they all lived happily ever after.
They all lived happily ever after. There you have an ending that never fails. They all live happily ever after. The way that it happens in the fairy tales, it can happen to anyone who cares. The way that I care for you, it can happen to anyone who cares enough to make a fairy tale come true. So they all live happily ever after. It's the end, but that's where it really starts. For strange as it seems, that's the dream of all dreams, and the dream that we carry in our